Brave Commander type. Hey again, Robert 184, 2 R's, 2 B's, gundam.tk, and you've seen the Brave Commander as its mobile suit. Now it's time to transform it into cruise position. The transformation begins with you dislocating the shoulders slightly by popping these out, not too much of course, and then you want to bring this part forward so that you're able to bring this part up. This is not in the instructions, but I recommend you take off pretty much everything, including the lower body, because otherwise you're going to have just a whole bunch of frustration with this next step, which is once this is open, you're able to swing down this whole assembly. With the legs reattached, you're then able to slide everything around this and bring the legs, with that bottom part still locked there, forward into a sitting position. Then to make him look even more ridiculous, you're going to bend the whole waist section down. Don't just bend the legs, but the whole waist. Then with the shoulders already disjointed here, you're going to swing the arm around the back while still keeping this armor on the top. I've reattached the side binders here, and then you're going to rotate this part back, and then once you've done that, you slide this part forward and then get everything nicely connected here at the front. On the back, you'll notice that there's two holes here, one on the left and on the right, and then down below, so you take the large GN condenser and plug that in like this. Moving on to the legs, you'll bend the ankle down here, pivot this out here, and then while keeping that in place, you'll bring the feet together in something that doesn't look solid at all. With the beam rifle, you take off this handle here, and then you put them both in their fixed position. The hole in the back of the rifle then attaches onto this part and may help in partially hiding the face. And just when I'm beginning to feel like there's absolutely nothing substantive or solid about this transformation, when you put the legs down here, you'll notice that there's a small slit here that's going to fit into that peg, and all of a sudden everything is going to feel a lot more stable. When you've done some tweaking to get all of the side armor and the shoulder armors and everything into the right position, the arms are going to be completely loose up here, and the legs are not attached together with any sort of a click mechanism, but they do stay in place surprisingly well. The head is relatively well hidden, that white part stands out at the back. The beam rifle doesn't attach on all that well, but the overall effect when you're looking at it from the top, I think is surprisingly pleasing. Here's a side shot. And when you look at it from down below, that looks pretty clearly like a set of Gundam legs there. As you see it come around here, my impressions when it's actually up on the action base improve a little bit. The arms and the fists clearly stand out as being Gundam, and when you look at it from the bottom, of course the legs are there. But otherwise, the fact that the head is well hidden, and that the GN beam rifle really takes the focus up to the front along with the side binders, it takes away from the body and gives you the impression that you've got something that is really just a space vehicle here. My impression improves, however, when you pull out the knives and you bring the side binders a little bit off to the side. The only thing that you're going to notice as you go through this is that it's really hard to keep everything perfectly symmetrical, because when you move one binder out, it's going to dislodge it from the leg, and then you have to readjust the ankles, and there's a whole bunch of problems associated with it like that. But again, the looks, especially when it's fully armed like that, mostly positive. That wraps up my take on this in its cruise position, but don't forget that it also has its stand position, and I'll be evaluating both in the upcoming verdict to see whether this whole kit is worth your money. Anyway, as always, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching, everybody. Robert 184, gundam.tk.